So this plug can only go on one way. And on it went. Now, to clean up these wires, I've got some little zip ties. Some little black ones I'm going to put on there and clean that up some. I'll get back with you as soon as I'm done with that. Okay, got them zip tied there. Out of the way. We'll move on to popping our nice fresh ram in. Again, assembled in China, like everything else. Alright, I'll see you in a minute. Okay, as promised, this is my single stick of 8 gig RAM. I'm going to put it in, I think this first one. Apply it in there. First thing you want to do is make sure that your clips, lockdowns, are unlocked. Now, you see there's a notch here. This RAM will only go in one way. This way. You try to put it in the other way, turn it and try to put it in the other way. The only way it's going to go in is if you're dumb enough to take your Dremel and cut your little notch out so the thing will set down in there. And whether it would work right or not, hell, I don't know. So, why don't you just get with the rest of us and put it in the way it's supposed to. Sets in just a little ways. See, that's got to pop up a catch on that notch, both sides. So, we got to set partial way in. Just give it a little push. And bingo. It snaps in and the tabs close. It's installed. Alright, this is now in. It's all snapped in correctly, and we'll move on to the next thing. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, it's time to start putting some other stuff in this box. The primary thing, of course, being that there motherboard. This back piece came with the motherboard. It will get installed here, so go ahead and get that done. And I couldn't remember for the life of me what the name of these little brass posts were. They're standoffs. They're called standoffs. Just separate the board away from the metal case so that cuts down on the risk of any transference of static, electricity, or shock. So that's what those are all about. You do need them. I'm going to get these cords all out of the way. Then I'm going to put this in, this bezel. And after that, I think we'll be ready to set that board in. Okay. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, that bezel, you put it in from the inside, and it just snaps into place. It's not rocket science by any means. And along with the box came your little built-in speaker. And it will plug into the JFP2 right here on the motherboard. Yeah, right there. It'll plug in right here. 4-pin connector. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and do that now so that it's in there, and then I'll set the board in. Okay, again, this is not rocket science. 4 pins, going to go right on there. And it's done. All right. Okay, just handling it strictly by holding the fan. I just laid it down in there and poof, right into place. It's lining up real well with the brass standoffs. And you can see it back here. So everything's looking real well. I'm going to go ahead and get this screwed in and move forward from there. Okay, the next thing to install will be the 1 terabyte hard drive. It's really simple. It slides into this port and gets screwed in from the sides. And it's done. So let's get that installed. It just slides into the bay. And you line up holes, 2 screws on this side, pick the tower up, spin it, put 2 on the other side, and it's in there. I'll be right back. Okay, got the 2 screws here. Set the machine up, spin it around. 2 more on that side. Now, we can start hooking up this mess of wires to some stuff. I've got a CD or a DVD burner that needs to go in up here. It's currently in that machine. I'm going to hold off putting that in until after I'm done with everything else. Then I'll pop it out of the old machine, stick it in here, and should be good to go. Alright, I'm going to start hooking some wires up. Be back with you in a minute. All the wires are in. I went ahead and put the DVD player in. Really simple. You just pop the front off. The DVD player slides into the port. And it gets secured with a couple screws on each side, same way as the hard drive did. And then the SATA cables. These are much easier to handle and deal with than the old parallel cables, the wide ribbon cables. Those are a pain. These SATA cables, they aren't bad. So all the electrics are hooked up. It's really pretty self-explanatory. Each one of these plug-in ports for these lines is specially designed. Say if it's a 10-pin plug, there'll be 1 pin missing on the male portion, and then on the female plug, the corresponding socket will be blocked off. So it's really simple. The fans are hooked into the CPU fan connectors. This EVGA power supply came with several more power plugs. So the expansion capabilities of this unit. So there's 1 or 2 more still on the 3 more on the primary line. So the expansion capabilities for this unit are impressive. Very impressive. Get that all tucked up in. Next thing to do will be to load the Windows 7 64-bit on it, and then it's just a matter of transferring over files, reloading programs, and this computer should be good to go for several years. Anyway, when I get the software ready to up and run, well, I'll get back with you and we'll take a peek at that. See you after a bit. Okay, initial startup on the computer. For this MSI board, the hotkey to jump into the BIOS is the delete key. You press it a few times as it's spinning up, and it'll load up into the BIOS. So that's where we're at. I really like the BIOS on this MSI A78ME35 build. It is right out of the box. It comes with mouse and keyboard capabilities, so you're not limited to just the keyboard. The mouse is great, and you can go into the settings and do things manually if you need to, but you can drag and drop. You can see here, which makes life a lot easier for somebody like me. I'm not that technically gifted when it comes to the inner workings of these computers, but I can usually get myself through it with Google and YouTube. And I don't mean to pass myself off as an expert, because I certainly am not. Okay, as I said, this comes with drag and drop capability. But one of the things I really thought was cool about it was after you get everything plugged in and your initial fire up and you look into your system, you can go to your board explorer, click on it, and it'll show you what your board looks like. And the highlighted areas are attach and install additional. Up here, that shows the back of the computer. My PS2 ports, USB 1, USB 2 ports, these are additional input ports, this one being the monitor. It's an HDMI port. There's nothing plugged in there. Go over here, the internet port, and it shows my Realtek internet plugged into it. And I do not have any speakers plugged into this yet. They're still plugged into the other machine. Here's the processor.